ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Dota 2 Champions League Season 9. We are in Imperial versus Comanche's best of 3 is the elimination match. We're down to, well, we went through the BO1s, but now it's the BO3s. Imperial took in game 1 over Comanche after, even after a decent start from Comanche. They took Rex first, but then a solid push from Imperial just crushed through the defenses of Comanche and taking them out of game number 1. We're here in game number 2 now. I'm not alone. Gonna be here with Mike Loris. Hello, my friend.
10 seconds remaining.
Not having buybacks, dude. Like, first Imperial didn't have buybacks, and then they beat Comanche in a fight. And then Comanche didn't have buybacks. I don't really know how that happens, but
except Imperial had better base destroyers.
Yeah, like you're going up against Luna Drow. Your base is not gonna last long.
Radiant team's turn to pick.
Yeah. Well, I guess that's why Drow's banned now, right? No, wait, no. Imperial banned it out. So it's like, okay, we did one dirty trick. Let's ban it out now. And they also don't have the first pick, so there's also that reason. So the IO will be selected instead, and well, they did run this the last game. Not sure how that really. Do you feel that the IO was good last game?
I think it was as good as it could have been. Like, Misha played it incredibly well with his saves. They were always on point. Cute TP trick, so style points there. The problem with IO in the last game was that Imperial were always like 5-manning. So if they're always a 5-man group, relocate doesn't really do all that much. Like, you can relocate into the fight, yes, but you're not going to relocate in order to get a free pick off and then take a fight afterwards, which is really what you want to be doing with IO. So Imperial's playstyle kind of trumped the IO's playstyle in that particular game. That being said, I think Misha played well enough that they can probably just run it back and, hopefully rely on those similar saves.
Well, do they do Slock again? Or oh wow, first pick Rubik. Hey, I'm not complaining. I do believe. Okay, now that it's been done a few times, I do remember. My brain is associating Rise to Rubik. He plays a lot of Rubik, right?
I actually don't know how much he plays, but he is very good at it.
Yeah,
I feel like
it's
he
like
plays it less
it's
nowadays,
like
but
the hero is synonymous with his name. It's like I don't know why. I remember someone else casting it maybe, or what, but I always hear Rise Rubik, and then it's like kind of burned into my brain. So whenever I say Rubik and Rise together, it just feels right. But
yeah, I mean, he is definitely very comfortable on the hero, and it showed last game.
Yeah, well. Alright, now Slaughter's going to be the second pickup here. The Imperial draft looking to build towards a lifestealer gank train. That's what I have an impression of. After watching so much Chinese Dota, I kind of feel that the Slaughter pick does combo with the lifestealer pretty well.
Yeah, I think that's a very high chance of happening. Unfortunately, they won't have Ogre to kind of get the Bloodlust on top of that, but I think another hero that Comanche have to watch out for is PA, played by Ace, something that Imperial do quite often. I don't think with this particular setup with Rubik, but definitely they tend to run that with the Slaughter. So these are just things that Comanche have to worry about. But Sand King is going to be the opening for Comanche, exact same as the last game, and it actually was like the best thing happening with Comanche's draft in the early game, at least. Like the Sand King and the IO, they were trouncing their lane. If you can hope for that again, then you can set yourself off to a similarly good start with hopefully a little bit of a better mid-end game there for Comanche.
Yeah, Sand King is, like I said, and I think I've said this many times, Sand King, one of the heroes that I think has really become super powerful because of the little changes to him and that late game tech, making him a viable pick for late game, mid game, and early game. And pairing up with IO, it solves this early game problem of move speed to close the gap with the barrel strike.
10 seconds remaining.
You got yourself a really good hero, and now we're looking at a Timber mid here for the Imperial. So Baby Knight gonna pick that. I do believe it will be that case unless Slaughter is going safe lane and Timber is going off, because the two biggest Slaughter combos have been banned, PA and Lifestealer. So I'm not sure what else is going to be paired up with this Slaughter.
5 seconds remaining.
Yeah, I mean, there's always options for physical damage. Timbersaw definitely is not one of them, so it does seem like Slaughter is kind of on an island by himself. At worst, though, you're going to have tracking on the Sand King, so that's always very nice with the amplified damage. A stun after a Rubik stun is also pretty reasonable. I don't think Imperial are one of those teams that very frequently run the 4-position support Slardar, which maybe for a different team would be a little bit better, but hey, Slaughter actually got a little bit better now that he's going up against another Invis hero in the Bounty Hunter, so that's kind of nice for Imperial.
Yeah, you know, we say that Slaughter is just for the vision or the minus armor, but mostly it's always going to be for Roshan when you're in a Dire. So maybe we go TA. You know, I say both have been banned,
10 seconds remaining.
but maybe we go TA, have a wonky Slaughter safe lane, have a TA mid, play that heavy aggression lineup with the minus armor,
Reserve time.
grab up a Dazzle maybe.
You could go like Ursa if you want to be really direct.
Oh yeah, Ursa works as well. The thing is, right now the heroes that have been, the way the heroes have been banned, it does look like the few remaining viable ones, viable carry heroes remaining are Juggernaut and Sven. You know, the ones that are current in the meta now, and those two heroes lose to Ursa. So I kind of like it. Imperial's still holding back on it, so it is going to be a safe lane Slaughter. They showed their hand here.
Could still be that support Slaughter.
Okay. Yeah, I guess so. You know, you can never count Imperial out of some weird draft, but it will be a Storm Spirit, so
Dire team's turn to ban.
I think both teams are just still holding on to that carry pick, not wanting to show that final core hero that they are using. You know, I think Imperial are pulling some kind of stunt here with this Slaughter. You know, it does look like they have their 3 cores down, but like you said, could be a support Slaughter, throw in a wrench into their works. Comanche might fall for this bait.
They always have to watch out, Comanche. If you any team picks up a Storm Spirit, you got to watch out for Anti-Mage. Anti-Mage kind of will trounce them. Imperial can also fit that into their draft if they run like a Darkseer Slaughter lane, and then Rubik Anti-Mage top, and then Timbersaw mid. So that is, I want to say just an auto ban, otherwise Imperial will be more than okay picking that one up, but Imperial control-wise aren't really the highest when they have to deal with Storm Spirit. So if they're not going to go for that AM, then going for, as you said, a Sven is also not the most unreasonable. But for Comanche, like, they have a lot of initiation. Scaling is almost entirely dependent on the Bounty Hunter, however, and Imperial don't have easy heroes to kill off, so the Comanche really do need a heavy hitter of their own.
Do you go for a Tiny here, or is that too vulnerable to the Timbersaw?
How would that lane work then?
You know, you let your Sand King have his own thing, and then IO Tiny bottom? No? I guess it doesn't work as well when it's not mid, right? World. Yeah.
I would try to stay away from Tiny because you're going up against the Timbersaw, obviously, but also the Darkseer. So he makes illusions of someone like Tiny, who has like the best illusions in the game, is something you want to be trying to avoid if at all possible.
Yeah, it does look like rough lanes here for Comanche. How are they going to draft this? They ban out the Centaur for fear of that carry Centaur making a resurgence. You know, you talk about Anti-Mage. What about something more direct, more up in your face? Imperial are known to do something crazy like that. They might even go up and pick an axe now just to be hyper aggressive, because Comanche, they've got 2 supports that do pretty much nothing in terms of CC. So having people that run in your face could be huge.
The only downside there, the only concern for Imperial at this stage in the game is how do we push towers? Like, they'll kill Roche very easily, they'll kill heroes very easily, they do not kill structures with these heroes at all. So that is something that they do have to consider. But if you keep Comanche down, like if you keep a Storm Spirit from farming the early stages, which we've seen time and time again, he will just be a non-factor pretty much regardless of how the game goes. And if Imperial want to try to angle for that, it's not the worst thing in the world, but I do think that they'll probably find something safer, and Venomancer the pick.
Safe lane
NA Dota?
Haha. Well, Kappa? Okay. So, I know that there is this... I know it's frowned upon, but there is this really cool way to jungle a Veno and get him up to level 6 by 4 minutes, so... There's that, on the Radiant side. I'm not kidding. It was done by Lithiator, the Reddit guy. I tried it. It works.
I'm not
it works
sure
in some of my
how
games.
Viable that is. But I mean, Venomancer right now is going up against Rubik and Darkseer. Rubik has null field, and we already saw that Rise is more than okay putting points in that null field in order to get magic resistance up. And magic resistance up against everyone from Comanche is pretty good. Darkseer also a hero that typically gets enough farms that he's able to pick up Mech, Guardian Greaves, even a Pipe. So they will have ways of resisting this Venomancer just naturally without really going too far out of their way.
Remaining.
I think it is reasonable if Comanche really want to try to bust through Imperial all in one go, and now Queen of Pain is going to hit the field for the Imperial squad, but this is not really your guaranteed heavy hitter from Comanche.
I don't know. That's all I can say. I don't know. Right? Is there
Even
any
their
other
slows.
response to this Veno pick?
Even the slows from Venomancer and Storm and whatnot are going up against Timbersaw Darkseer. So, like, it really does seem like the Venomancer is kind of boiling down to mostly just his ultimate. I guess a little bit of pushing, but Imperial can fight early on with the support Slaughter.
Yeah, I'm not convinced.
10 seconds remaining.
But we'll see. We'll see. Maybe there's some strategy here we're not seeing.
5
You know,
seconds
try
remaining.
mixing the heroes around in terms of lanes. Are we seeing something cool? Do you see something cool?
I mean, Bounty Hunter is always going to be on the roam. Really, Storm Spirit and Venomancer
Could be one of those
have
Battle
a
Fury
doubt.
bounty hunters I've heard so much about. Get that Janata in a
Who's actually
splash.
playing? I didn't actually look.
Chew.
So, yeah, we're gonna have the exact same setup. So yeah, no like weird support Venomancer core bounty or anything like that. The Queen of Pain pick for Imperial is really strong because the potential mid lanes for Comanche, Storm and Venomancer both have about equal times versus the Queen of Pain, and that is Queen of Pain favored. I mean, Comanche can't even like set up and slowly grind down towers. That's not really what Storm Spirit's able to do. If they had someone like a Shadow Fiend, maybe, but
There's something we're
Dragon
missing,
Knight,
man.
perhaps.
Something we're missing. It's gotta be, right?
I think if you replace the Storm Spirit with the Dragon Knight, you know, matchup versus Timbersaw notwithstanding, then that game plan I think is a little bit better for getting. But right now it's like they're kind of pulling in a whole bunch of different directions.
Alright, ready. We'll see ready for what. We'll have Comanche on the right hand side, Misha on the Wisp, Pikachu on that Storm Spirit, Evgeny on the Sand King, Chu on the Bounty Hunter, and last but not least, LTW on Venomancer. Looks like Baby Knight's AFK, probably laughing at the Veno pick.
No, I mean Venomancer isn't that bad. It's just the fact that the team can't very
Let's get
easily
on with it.
capitalize on a Venomancer. We've seen a couple of teams pick up Venomancer recently. I think it was... I know I've seen Arteezy play it recently, and he had kind of a tough time. But you know, usually you want to have someone to actually chase down and kill off the enemy heroes very, very quickly. Storm Spirit is going to take a lot of time before he's ready to get to that stage. And you know, even then,
Okay,
it's
I'm
not
sorry, can I
guaranteed.
just say how much I love this Darkseer set?
Is that covering his eyes and he's got a box on him?
No, he's got a like a
What's a
book
book?
that's leaking pages and it's like glowing. So nice. It's like a little scholar. But Imperial are gonna run up top there. They have that Baby Knight, Queen of Pain. They have Noya on the support Slaughter. Rise. Oh, they're gonna run in. Bounty Hunter. It's gonna break that smoke. They deployed that dust immediately. Comanche is gonna get caught out. The Queen of Pain jumps forward, maybe goes for the body block, but the dust is about to wear off, so I don't know if they will be able to do it. Maybe they pass the dust over to someone else? Does that work that way?
No, you gotta drop a sentry. They
don't?
have one sentry here.
Yeah.
The other sentry's on bottom, so and they knew that Chu was in the area. Fortunately, couldn't do anything with it, so they do end up wasting the first dust, which is, I guess, a quite nice win for Comanche. And
Well, he's out of mana.
now Comanche know exactly what the lanes are gonna look like as well.
Yeah.
I guess wasn't gonna be a surprise anyway.
This ain't no snowball.
I just thought that, you know, like you said, the Slaughter might be making his way down to the bottom lane. But I think Timbersaw should be able to hold his own, so having the Slaughter nearby might not be as useful as they thought. But Chu, okay, he's gonna be roaming past there, waiting for that courier who has that salve, and I think he expects this.
He really does want to sit on Baby Knight. Misha's already here with the Storm Spirit. Kind of a necessary laning choice from Comanche if they want the Storm to have at all a decent time versus the Queen of Pain. Otherwise, it'll be really rough. This is like a full mid tri-lane situation for Comanche.
Yeah.
I mean, that's also what you get from the Venomancer, right?
Play
It's like a
left,
very individual
top lane.
laner. He doesn't need a lot
They
of
throw
help.
him into the crush. Evgenine gonna get body blocked here by that Rubik. He's Battle Strike already down. Evgenine in a lot of trouble. The second Whirling Death comes through him because he's strength. Ace claims that first blood. And something to note as well, I think the main reason the Venom was picked because of his wards, being able to clear up creeps without dying to Iron Shell, and contesting the Darkseer one-on-one in terms of a push, I think. That's the only reason I can think for now. Because you need a hero that can deal with Darkseer, right? And the rest of your lineup play greedy, so that you don't have to help your Venomancer. Is that fair to
Bounty
judge?
and IO are garbage up against Darkseer, so you need someone very able to play on an island. And Ion Shells do not affect Plague Wards. Kill the creeps pretty quickly with the Ion Shell, but the creeps then have to kill the Plague Wards, and that's really slow. So this is a lane that they can kind of just leave on an island, and therefore give more help towards the mid lane Storm Spirit.
Yeah. Pikachu already starting to put some pressure on this Queen of Pain down to half health.
Radiant's bottom
But,
tower's got
you know, all that... Okay, you know, we got lanings down. Venomancer is gonna deal with Darkseer later, but what happens when this Imperial lineup converges on them? What are they gonna fight with? The IO pick
That's the
almost
issue,
makes
right?
very little sense now, apart from topping up the Storm Spirit being that portable battery. I still am not convinced though.
You have to try to keep Imperial like
Sankey's
separated.
dead again.
That's where Storm Spirit and IO get really strong. That's where Venomancer's split push is very strong as well, which is may or may not happening. Sanking's dead, by the way. That's what's
Yeah,
top. Oh,
I
maybe
just said
Salve-
that.
Okay, no. There's Saw Blades. So Comanche have got to kind of keep Imperial separated. Once there's an actual fight, Venomancer needs like Veil Ags, and they need a Storm Spirit with like a Bloodstone at least, a Blink Dagger on the Sand King. They have a lot of magic damage at that point, but you know, by that stage when Imperial are really ready to group up, they should also have BKB, Pipe, some Null Field, you know, these type of anti-magic tools.
Yeah. Well, the wards are holding the wave pretty nicely, where the Iron Shell has stopped them, so it's pretty good. Right now, the pick is working out. They'll have a really farmed Veno, have a very high level Veno, but so will that Darkseer be. Maybe he'll be a little bit careless, extend a little bit far, and then they try and get a gank with IU and Bounty Hunter. I don't know. I don't think that's ever gonna happen.
The Storm Spirit's actually doing a really good job against Baby Knight. Not only out CSing, but also just putting the screws to the Queen of Pain. And stack-wise, the IO is having a completely free time there as well. So Misha setting up for a nice little bit of acceleration for the Storm Spirit, which normally Storm Spirits don't get. They can clear them out pretty quickly though with Static Remnants and the Overload. So Comanche are putting a lot of their eggs into the Storm Spirit basket. And, I mean,
Yeah.
I
I mean,
would like
a
Pikachu on
powerful storm
Spirit.
is a fearful storm, but I don't know. Venom Carry is kind of in the same school of thought as Venge Carry, right?
Mhm.
So
You need a
it's
very good
strong,
early game.
but you know, yeah, you got a clock on you, and you open yourselves up to a lot of punishment if you make too much mistakes. And now Baby Knight picks that bounty, gonna blink back to the middle lane.
isn't going to last long.
And that mistake can be as simple as popping Poison Nova a little bit too early. If you get hit by something and you're unable to get your Blink Dagger off, if you Poison Nova one hero or 0 heroes, you massively messed up and you're useless for the rest of that fight. There's a lot of risk there. Imperial don't really have the best heroes interrupting that, like no Zeus or anything, but still, it is always a finicky hero to watch. But he's having a good start, so I mean, if you're gonna have a good Venomancer game, this is the start you want.
Yeah. The Iron Shell makes it hard for creep ways to survive, but wards don't give a damn about those. And this Veno can even go to the jungle, so there'll be a lot of efficiency farming here. But what is he building? The Veil, Ags, Mjolnir?
I want Mjolnir, best item in the game. It's probably going to be Veil into maybe Blink Ags or
Dragonlance?
Ags Blink.
No right click.
But I would expect Veil first.
Alright. Baby Knight doesn't have his
I'm
ulti
actually not
just
sure
yet.
if you get. Do you get Blink and then Ags or Ags then Blink? That I'm not sure about.
Well, it does
they
depend
got
on how the situation is gonna be like. Yeah, after he's gonna die again. Anoya is taking quite a fair bit of damage, but Ace is on a killing spree right now. And this support ladder working out for them because it's already It's already 5 minutes and 30 seconds. Slaughter's already almost level 4. Suicides again to the side lane. Neutral creeps and Joe gonna run forward. So put some pressure on Comanche.
A Slaughter that has a fast blink dagger, whether it's support or core, is always going to be a threat, especially if you are Comanche and if you're the Storm Spirit. Like, the faster the blink dagger comes up on Slaughter, the higher chance there is going to be of a blink dagger also coming up on the Rubik, and then you're just up against way too many blink initiators for Storm Spirit to really be comfortable. It does get to maybe a slippery slope there, but again, that's going to take quite a while. What Comanche have to worry about is the fact that Slaughter just grabbed a double damage, and also they're going to try to go up towards the top. Ace takes like literally no damage from any of that, so yeah, invisible Slaughter with a little bit of Ion Shell looking at a bounty.
Yeah, and they do have Observer wards here on the top lane as well, so any kind of rotation comes in, gonna be rough. Yeah, the fish looking for some beef here with this Bounty Hunter.
Radiant's middle tower shouldn't have to take this abuse.
You expect something. Now, if you're paying very close attention to the Darkseer mana pool, you could see that he cast an Ion Shell, but there was no Ion Shell visible, so he knows that something is invisible.
He already knows something is up,
Takes,
he's just
like,
hiding.
Very close examination.
But yeah, looks like they shifted the Sand King top for fear of his sanity, but now, oh no, they're looking to dive this tower. They really want to dig out that juicy Bounty Hunter in the middle of everything.
Not much good's happening to
Comes the
Radiant's
creep,
bottom tower.
and Joe. Rubik's, the Bounty Hunter is still trying to cheat out EXP because getting that level 6 will be
Radiant's
important.
bottom tower is under attack.
Still fine for the Darkseer. He's just pushing down the tower as per usual. No real pressure. The concern is that there's no pressure being applied to the Storm Spirit, who has cleared out his stack, is on the top of the last hit chart, close to the net worth chart top as well, and Baby Knight is kind of on an island. No help going in towards him, and Storm Spirit's weak phase is already passed. So Imperial, yeah, they spend a lot of time with these supports to not really do a hell of a lot for this Darkseer, but I guess they will get a tower in the end, which is not unreasonable. They do waste another dust on the bottom lane though, looking for the bounty.
Space Maid.
I guess Radiant
This
fortified
guy
their structures.
already ported up to the top, but now Queen might actually go for a kill here. They jump in with that Sonic Wave, but Pikachu has that zip in. He goes aggressive on Baby Knight. The Barrel Strike follows up. They might want to go for that Queen. There is going to be that blink, so Baby Knight will actually bail out in time. They lose their Rubik. And yeah, miscommunications around. Oh, they don't lose the Rubik. I mean, they lose the Sand King to the Rubik. But overall, still rough for them. They didn't get that kill on the Queen.
Baby Knight's not done. Blink. There's no mana on Pikachu. He has a stick charge. He has the OP raindrop.
They find him.
Knight's
One
dead.
more click. Yep. They tried for the scream. Misha as well as Pikachu. Was it one? Oh wait, four on Misha. Pikachu about just this close. So without that null or without that magic wand, he would have been dead. Just from stats.
Okay, well, you know, there's an item in this game called Infused Raindrop. Pretty good.
Yeah, pretty good. When I first saw it, I'm like, is this real? But I do believe that we'll be getting some new items coming that come with Wukong as well. And you know, just how excited are you for the new patch? You know, new hero side.
The hero's not gonna be in captain's mode, so I don't care.
Hmm?
No, it's not gonna be in captain's mode,
No,
right?
don't you play
Mark
pubs?
Gordon's next with Underlord.
Don't you play pubs?
I don't care.
You're
I never
not the
pick those heroes
enthusiast.
anyway. Like, I just random.
Okay, you're that person that Valve is trying to remove with their in-house psychologists about randoming and
I random
puppet
first.
behavior.
It's not my fault if you don't want to deal with my Meepo. Sometimes when you just random Meepo, you lose the game, man. That's just how it goes.
Yeah, 1 in 110.
Something like that.
Around there. I'll take those odds. Only
Hey, for that
Tranquils
extra
here for the
gold,
Sand
though.
King. He's been having a bad day. Barrel Strike is still not going to bail him out. He does TP away. No vacuum from the Darkseer. He's super lucky. The Darkseer didn't get a single point yet.
We just leveled up and he just got it.
Yeah, just level 8. Yeah.
Take this abuse? Were those cracks
Oh, well.
in Dyer's top tower?
There's also no bash in the Slaughter, but he'll have amplified damage soon enough. Track is still not up on Chu, although he should be able to get it pretty soon as well.
Dyer's top tower.
You know, a pretty slow start, but for Imperial, that's kind of what they want. They want to build up these early defensive items first, just to kind of 100% nullify the Venomancer as best they can. They also want to not lose Noya, but I'm not sure if that's in the cards.
Well, meanwhile, they're pursuing this slaughter pick. And this game has taken a really, started off in a really slow gear. 2.5k net worth in favor of Imperial, but not much happening to them, you know. They're just playing chill. They're playing to this Venos game.
Venomancer is having a free time right now, but once the mechanism comes up, as levels come up on the Rubik, he gets Spell Steal, and if he could somehow steal Poison Nova, that's just GG. But yeah, this is a concern for Comanche. I feel like they have to be pressuring really hard very early on with this Venomancer, and if they're not,
this might be the
they're
time.
actively falling behind. Venomancer's in a little bit of trouble here.
Still trying to build himself out. The Sonic Wave is there. The secondary stun, but now with that huge Venom ulti, could they be finding themselves in a really hard place to deal with? Baby Knight dropping all his mana. You get blown up by that Storm Spirit. Where is that push forward? Chu still keeping things real. Evgeny starts the epicenter, and the wards actually pick them off. The epicenter finding 2 kills there. The Slaughter as well as the Rubik taking a fall there in that top lane. So overall, 3 for 3, but 3 supports for 1 core and 2 supports. So slightly favored here. Well, actually more than slightly favored. Comanche coming out ahead.
There was at least 1 track kill involved there for Comanche, so they already, you know, win the trade by that way. Ace can probably take down this tower, maybe not, but you know, either way, a tower is going to fall in favor for Imperial. But still, as Imperial, you have to watch out about going too aggressive. Like, Baby Knight knew that he was tracked up, but he was going in, like, all the way in to try to kill off an Io. And that trade, just Queen of Pain for Io is not worth it. Tracked Queen of Pain for Io is definitely not worth it, so Imperial is just getting a little bit too excited about going in. If you wait for Mechanism, then if you go for that, you can probably walk away alive, but still no mech just yet on the Darkseer. He's close there.
Yeah, alright. Rise gonna scout out the Bounty Hunter. Does have the Sentry Ward though, so I plop one down here. Yeah, he plops one down. I think the Bounty was monitoring his movement. Meanwhile, Sand King, the shortest Barrow Strike out of a level 4 Barrow Strike ever, melts. But now the reinforcements come in. They're looking with that Storm Spirit and the IO. How can they get a kill here? The amplified damage is up. Do they build him out in time? No, sir. He just goes down during the stun duration. And it's just so rough for him.
Ion Shell, that's amplified damage value as well. Not a lot of heavy right clickers there, but enough to make it make a difference. And Rise actually steals Static Remnant, which you know, it isn't a Burrow Strike, but when you're trying to go for Roche, having Static Remnant for Vision is actually pretty nice.
Amplified damage. Should have done this a lot sooner here. But I guess they wanted to wait till it's safe, where there's no chance of relocate mess up here with a Sand King Barrow, Storm zipping in. So Storm down for the next 10 seconds means they have a little bit of space.
Should be able to take this down, but they will lose the top tier 1. Venomancer's gonna get the Veil together in this downtime as well. So it's a reasonable trade here for Imperial. Getting this extra experience boost, getting this gold boost, it's Bloodstone, that's Mechanism. It's closer for the Slaughter to get his Blink Dagger. At the cost of the tower is pretty well worth the trade. Comanche, still this Venomancer isn't quite yet ready to do very broken Venomancer things. Veil, Nova level 1. Okay. You need level 2 Nova before you really get going.
Yeah, I don't know. He also need a Blink Dagger if he wants to go into 5. Well, Bloodstone's up on Timbersaw.
Timbersaw has had a very free time. Like, he's been avoiding most of the engagements. Like 3-0-0 obviously, but now it's time for him to consider joining. He doesn't have a lot of magic resist though. At this point in this game, like, just having a cloak for value is very nice if you're any Imperial hero.
Oh, meanwhile Chu gets himself dusted, but he walks into that tiny little crack. He gets found here though. He gets the track on the Slaughter, but now he gets caught. The track stolen here from Rise. Oh, that's huge to get. Storm Spirit almost solo dying here to the Darkseer. Does he die though, is the question. He backs off. The Cavalry has arrived. Yeah, the Cavalry has arrived. Are they gonna go in? Misha. I think he still sees them. Wow. Baby Knight diving deep there, trying to bait some TPs out, but using his Blink and the Haste Druid to escape that right away. That was crazy play from him. That was almost what we call a Jimmy play.
Not quite, though. Venomancer's still split pushing over in mid, is going to put this tower in deny range. It's going to cost Comanche a little bit of gold, but, you know, even tower denies, no one's going to be too hurt about that. The steal of the track, though, is something you don't get rid of, I don't think, in any situation in this game. But, like, track is the best spell to steal if you're Rubik in this game. So, yeah, Imperial, if they weren't planning on going aggressive now, they definitely are now. Not really a lot of time to do so, and they would like a Blink Dagger on Slaughter first, but this is such a great steal.
Yeah. Well, how the items looking up for some of the teams. Slaughter still their support role, so Tranquil Boots, and very close to Dagger actually.
Top tower is under attack.
And now the D2CL coming in to push. Level 11 already.
Pikachu just walked by all of these heroes, so Comanche know exactly what they're getting themselves into. Pikachu does not know they spotted though.
Uh-oh. I'm sure they have vision somehow. They vacuum back in. Now the Storm Spirit getting caught out by that Rando Crush. They don't even know that he's in this, and now Chu trying to run away. They get as many tracks as possible. They pull back this Rubik. Rubik getting caught there. Very nice Barrel Strike. Now gonna start with the Epicenter. It's not gonna be enough as the Surge tries to bail out the Darks here. The Storm Spirit is still jumping for more. The battery in the back there's known as the Wisp. Gonna try and power him as much as possible, but now the Wisp getting caught out. The Barrel Strike missing. Pikachu gonna drop some remnants there on that low ground, and well, it doesn't get that.
2 for 2, that should be it. It looks like it is. Imperial, unfortunately, kind of had a chance to kill off a Storm there. Storm ended up right outside of the Sentry Ward range, and they wanted to get the bounty instead. That definitely was an awkward situation there. They did have another Sentry Ward on the Rubik. They had Dust on the Slaughter, I think, and they still didn't go for that Storm. So you know, maybe they didn't realize they vacuumed back successfully into a Crush because he just was never in Sentry range. But that was an awkward angle for Imperial. But for Comanche, they had full vision. They knew exactly where everyone from Imperial was. They probably could have expected even a better result, actually. So it could have been a lot worse for Imperial.
Uh-oh. Once again, the Bounty Hunter is going to be the space so-called for his team. And he's going to be brought down, pops the Magic Stick, and just toying with him. They want to give it to Baby Knight.
Oh, that was so close. He casted Track before he died, and Rise got it back.
Yeah.
They could have gotten a Track kill because Bounty Hunter made a mistake there.
Yeah. Giving away Track, definitely not part of the game plan. See the Rubik.
Haste.
Right now, it's a lot of stunners versus none.
Noya has his blink as well as a hood on the Darkseer. The extra barrier is an all-star up against Comanche.
Let's see what happens now. 6-13 this game, ramping up slowly, but somehow still getting a really early daggers on a lot of them. So amping up the pressure, amping up the power here. Pikachu has that Bloodstone. But looking at Ace here.
14 Bloodstone charges up against 15 at Timbersaw. Huge discernible advantage there. We have a Blink Dagger on Venomancer, which is an incredible item, but it's also an answer on the Imperial side, and the Orchid just now picked up on the Quap. A very kind of slow farm game for the Quap. No huge snowball action going on in this game, but still having that silence up against the Storm Spirit or Venomancer or Sand King, that's just incredible. So yeah, another CC tool for Imperial along with that Blink on the Slaughter.
Yeah. Well, now the smoke gonna head down bottom. They find that, they find a Bounty Hunter. They have scouted out heroes. There is that relocate coming in with the Storm. Immediately gets silenced there, but Baby Knight is gonna be the target. They stack stuns though. It's a little bit problematic, but it doesn't matter as they do get a huge kill. That Misha gonna get popped there, but that is his life. Such is Misha's life. Ace gonna be on a really low health pool. Immediately gets himself denied. But it does give the Bounty Hunter the power, or rather the gold back.
Jeez, look at that gold gain though. 1700 gain for Comanche, 600 for the bounty there, 500 for the Sand King. That's no small amount. And Queen of Pain going for this Orchid is not exactly going to be incredibly bulky, so Imperial just catching themselves off at a really weird angle. No Darkseer mechanism or pipe, which are both up, but he's just not there. It's just an awkward place for Imperial to find themselves in.
Yeah. And
if Imperial actually all is a 5-man though, that goes a lot differently with the pipe.
I think Imperial is having fun at this point. This lineup just looks really confusing. to the untrained eye, and even to the so-called trained eye is still looking rather rough. And now the Ace coming in forward, pushes that wave out.
We haven't really seen Imperial do anything aggressive as a 3-man, 4-man team, and that's what they were trying to do in this bottom lane. But with no gem, like, you have to put sentries down very liberally to look for that bounty hunter, and you need the blink dagger Slardar to be there as well. Like, if you're kind of walking in a situation where you don't have your Slardar, you're kind of asking for trouble because you can't start those fights very easily.
Now we're talking. Baby Knight still holding on to that Orchid. His first one was kind of an overkill, if not anything.
Dust, smoke.
Oh. Evgeny.
It's like they may run into the Sand King with this.
Yeah. He's a little bit off though to that Ags upgrade. It'll be good for saving high ground. You Barrel Strike and then Shift Blink so that you just go with TP.
Radiant's middle tower
Smoke
could use
is
some
not
help.
blown yet.
Oh, he runs deep.
He lives.
Right now, it's both sides are just playing stalemate Dota. They don't want to make any crazy mistakes. The goal graph is reflecting a rather even matchup, 3,000 to 3,000, or rather 3,000 to the.
Oh, smoke breaks.
Oh, smoke breaks. You get caught here in the epicenter, getting cancelled there by that Rubik, and that's why you don't cast those big spells right there. But the nice vacuum into the wall there catches a few of them, but they're still not low enough for a kill. Ace looking for some cuts here on his enemies, but Baby Knight gonna get hit by that Bubble Strike. And now the back Vano ulti goes across. They're all tagged. Is that gonna be enough to kill off the Quap though? He's tracked up the Storm Sprint. Will dodge out that Sonic Wave. Very nicely done there. With his jump, he's gonna jump forward, looking for the kill there. Looks like LTW going for a neutral out. Is not gonna find it. Baby Knight should bleed down. No, he does not because of the bottle charge. He will stay alive, and in the end, the poison strat doesn't really work.
I mean, Venomancer ultimate does a lot of damage, but it's not lethal damage. And that's, like, at a certain point why you need the heroes to kind of clean up afterwards. Like, you can land a 4 or 5-man ultimate, and the enemies may or may not disperse afterwards. But if you don't have anyone to actually chase down and get the cleanup, then it's almost irrelevant. And a Storm Spirit who is going up against Orchid and Crush at that point with very little backup just can't do that. He's just going in.
Oh, dude, diving in.
Like, no
looking
damage
for
to
Ace
Timber's
here.
though.
Oh, the glyph there is deployed. Imperial now gonna pick the smart choice and try and bail, but the Barrel Strike coming in. There's gonna be more jump here onto this Timberstone. He's got himself quite a streak, as well as a lot of a little bit of a reputation uphold. Now here comes Baby Knight jumping in from the side. He doesn't have Sonic Wave anymore. The vacuum comes in. It's big once again. The storm already down. The damage now lost. Baby Knight going in for the dagger. Comanche Chu. I don't know why I keep trying to call him Commander Chu. Baby Knight. The shurikens go across, but is it gonna be enough there? It's not gonna be. Ace throws out the chakram. Nearly finds Evgeny. I think Queen of Pain might be thinking about it now, but it looks like it wouldn't be the case. It will be the guild that tags that Rubik. That's about it.
So yeah, can we talk about Hood of Defiance and how balanced this is against Comanche?
Yeah.
Like, they're almost all magic damage based. Timbersaw had the Darkseer right around the corner. So we had the Insight Aura, additional magic resistance on top of the Hood of Defiance, on top of the barrier. He was being like 4v1'd and he just wasn't dying there. I mean, we had a great crush from Noya. That of course turned everything around in favor of Imperial, but it didn't really seem like Ace was in a lot of trouble there because Comanche's damage profile is almost exclusively magic. And you know, once you pick up those hoods and those pipes, then Comanche really do struggle. They, I don't think, have gotten off to a good enough start to really put a Venomancer draft, quote unquote, together. They need an Ags, and even then, I'm not really sure because Imperial have all these answers, all these tools.
Huh? True. This Bounty Hunter, he started off really good, getting that early level, getting that early track, but now he's 0-6, so life of a Bounty Hunter.
He does, at least doesn't have fewer
Roshan
tracks than Rise. I think Rise only got like 1 track kill.
But still,
Going for Roche though.
very slow on the item progression so far. If you look at the goal graph, favoring the Dire actually.
We actually know about this.
They're gonna tank up
He was
this
tracked when he blinked in.
Oh, they do. I think they know. LTW, he drops a ward in there. They know that they're slow on this. And Roshan there could be great, but the jump in solo not gonna be good there. Gonna get caught out. The Wisp, FGD in trouble as well. Here comes the Vandal with the Kamikaze sprays. Gets it all on everyone, but it's a slow level 1 as well. And there isn't much damage that's gonna be coming through. An old combo I saw in the past was carrying it up with Warlock and Ancient Apparition, but right now Comanche is just getting mopped. Mopped by Imperial, and these guys are just treating them like that broomstick. Sweeping the floor with them. And yeah, the Hood of Defiance is really good. Barely took any damage.
That was mechanism and pipe value there. Only 1 point right now in no field. I guess now 2 points. But Rubik also gets away with Poison Nova, which is ridiculously powerful. It's not agged, it's not veiled or anything like that, so it's not going to be completely bonkers, but still it's a very strong spell to steal for the future. You know, even Baby Knight blinked in, got silenced, but he was also able to silence the Storm Spirit. And if you can't cast spell the Storm Spirit, your damage output is typically on the lower end, so really no one from Comanche there was doing any damage. Imperial just rolled them over, and now they have the double life for Baby Knights, so now he's going to be able to go ham, and Comanche are a little bit too late to the party. Even if they were to jump in, they would not have a Poison Nova. I don't think it goes well for them.
Yeah, I don't think so too. Noya hanging back, but Joe is here with a full tank of health. Here we go. Gonna start the sprint. Noya fearing some danger. Next, rather farm that side camp and that enemy slaughter. Noya.
This is a dangerous game for Comanche to be playing right now.
Yeah, I mean,
they have gotten a handful of track kills, but definitely not enough to be put into a snowball-y state where Storm Spirit and core Venomancer really want to be. If you're on even footing as a Venomancer, then usually you're going to be in a rough spot. You kind of want to be ahead, so your Poison Nova actually does damage and you can kill people afterwards. And now BKB on the Queen of Pain, so yeah, rip magic damage.
And yeah, you know, on top of all that, there's a pipe here on Darkseer. There's Hood already on Timbersword. I feel like this Veno pick was just YOLO. You know, they had an opportunity to pick something great here, but maybe they just really wanted to try the Veno. I mean, it's a great tower holder, don't get me wrong. The wards are really good at holding towers, but this is not really the plan. But then again, Imperial don't have the best pushing lineup. You look at them taking so long to take this tier 2 tower. And they're just going to try and use that time to trade that tier 2 off. Maybe still back in time for that base push. Baby Knight has BKB in ages, so this could be bad for them if they decide to jump the Queen. But who else can you jump? Silencer is real far back. And,
Poison Nova on Rubik is going to time out. Looks like he can't get a chance to use it. You have an Aghanims on Venomancer and Sand King at the same time as tracks go out, so this could be really bad for Imperial if they stick around too long.
Yeah. This is the slowest base push I've seen, like slowest uncontested base push. Both heroes are so bad at hitting buildings, and now they finally get it. Timbersaw gets it, but nice crush there from Noya with the vacuum follower, cuts them the wall. There's a big Veno ulti, but the Sonic Wave goes through. The Veno ulti gonna do absolutely nothing as the pipe comes up. There's the Guardian Grease, barely knocks them below a fifth of their life. BKB Baby Knight takes out the Scorpion in the base, and now they're corralled to that spawn point. And I think with that, with those two heroes down, and with that Venomancer down as well for 40 seconds, I'm not sure Imperial need to fight on for much longer. Comanche look out of options.
Still the slowest base push of all time, but Noya has been super on point in this game, and of course the follow-up was all there. You land an ultimate, you land a burst strike and whatever, you have all the tracks set up, but if you're not the one to make the initiation, then it pretty much just nullifies the entirety of that track and the Aghanims and your Venomancer. They had to jump on someone. And that has to be the Sand King with the Storm Spirit. And unfortunately for Imperial, the defensive tools are just one too many.
Yeah, I hate to be that guy, but I feel like the Veno pick, you know, I mean, it could be us not understanding anything, but I feel like it just really limited all their offense options, their late game carry options in a way that made it really hard to come back from. Both teams we saw there are not good tower pushes, so it took really long for the tier 2 trade to go down, you know, like they had a lot of time to come back to defend. Then in the end, you know, it's all about the team fights. and the Venom not ending fast enough. You know, it's like that Venge carry thing again. You have that problem of needing to end fast, the clock, and not meeting that time.
Venomancer needs to have a very specific game plan. Like, you need to be kind of snowbally, which all credit to Comanche. Their draft is kind of set up to be potentially snowbally, but once you see a Rubik and a Darkseer on the other end, heroes that are going to have magic resistance kind of built in, I think you just don't go for Venomancer. Like, that's when he's at his worst.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we already talked. I mean, I talked about that Rise Rubik coming out right after the Sand King pick because of, you know, how Rubik is good against Sand King, but then they decide to just go in and pick that Venomancer. So Imperial are gonna 2-0 this and knock Comanche out of the tournament, and we'll be back with next BO3. It will start at 2000 CET, so I'm not sure what time that is.
That should be in 50 minutes.
15 minutes? 5-0?
50.
All right, so
50, yes.
so it should be technically 50 to 45 minutes more, but I'll ask the admins. They might push up the game timer. So either way, you know, we'll be jumping back to the wait screen for just a little bit. We'll play some music, and then we'll see if it's 50 or 15. Hopefully it's 15, but we'll be right back with more D2CL. You're watching Season 9, run by Epic Esports Events, as well as Face It. I'm Lysander, he's Mike Loris, and we'll see you guys in the next set.